Welcome back to the channel, Crypto Trend Trader, with a quick update on Bitcoin. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you it's not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. These markets are extremely volatile, so please do your own research and trade responsibly. Here we have Bitcoin. I'm on the 4-hour. This is our Coinbase chart. And as we can see, we made it all the way up here and topped out initially around 10.2 and immediately got the sell-off, capitulation, move back down. We were able to hold support here and eventually put in 2 higher lows on the wicks here and find some support and then get a move back up. And when we came back up, we made our way all the way back to the 886 from the top here at 10.2 down to the sell-off down here at 8.2. So basically that was like a $2,000 sell-off. We came all the way back up to the 886 and then sold off again, came back down and found support on some of our key support levels / resistance levels, moved back up once again, could not get a close on the 4-hour above the 886, sold back off less, and then finally came up here and lost our parabolic trend line from this little micro move. And as soon as we did, sold back off below our key support / resistance levels, horizontal and diagonal lines. And at that point in time, we now got to move back up to retest this. So at this point in time, what this looks like is basically a failed breakout followed by another failed breakout. If we find resistance right here and sell back off, we could potentially put in another higher low and maintain our yellow parabolic support line and continue to just move up, regain some strength, and then move to the upside. If we immediately move back up here and put in a high, we could continue to the upside. But if we do find resistance here and eventually sell back off, and can't find support at the yellow parabolic trend line, I would expect us to come down. And then at that point in time, if we take out the low from this previous little sell-off here, especially like the close on the 4-hour is all the way up here at like 8,500. So if we take out 8,500 on a 4-hour close, I think the entire trend is in jeopardy. And we'll potentially be like, for the first time, setting a like a lower low in this entire move up since our like sell-off back down to below 4,000. So at this point in time, we basically had a strong move up. We were able to maintain the trend. It slowly died off, and then we regained that parabolic trend line. And then finally we sold off at the resistance, moved up, consolidated, sold off again. So it's not unrealistic to think that we could move back up, consolidated it again, and then break out to the upside. But at this point in time, based on our previous attempts to get through this area that failed and our long-term resistance, I think the most likely thing to happen is we're going to come up here again and get rejected. And we were paying attention to this right here on our other chart and talking about this specifically, that we got all the way up to the yellow parabolic trend line and the red descending parabolic trend line. And basically that had called our market tops every single time, and this was our support line we broke down from, so that we were likely to retest it and then find it as resistance. So now here we are, we found these 2 points as resistance specifically, not to mention all the other fib levels and everything associated with it, our 618 of the move and then the 236 of this move inside the move. So at this point in time, it's starting to look very much like this specific example we gave back here, not to mention on the TJD, TD, MACD, we flipped this over red. We're coming up here. It's still green on the histogram, but we're starting to level back off. And what it's looked like is going to happen is we're going to get rejected by the red slope line and then flip this back over red and start selling off here. And then if you take a look at the moving averages, we're basically at this point in time You know, the moving averages are in the correct order for the most part, but we've been consolidating so long they're all coiled up. So you can get fake outs in every direction, which is why like golden crosses and death crosses are less reliable when you have like a strong consolidation period like this, because you can flip back and forth between them like very easily. So we're going to pay attention to our shorter term time frames and see where that leads us. As you know, that's obviously like the prequel for the longer term time frames. But right now, looking at the 4 hour and paying attention to the moving averages, when we sold off here, we found support on the 200 exponential multiple times and then get our move back up. And now what right here, we cross back over for the second time on this trend. This was the first time we got the crossover, and then we got the massive dump of our short and second shortest moving average. And now here we did it again, got the crossover and the dump, and then we came down here the second time and tested the 200 exponential. So what's going to happen next, we come back up, retest our short-term moving average and our 89, and then if we can get back above it, we can continue back up and retest the upside. If we cannot get back above them, I think we're going to come back down and retest this 200. But what I would really expect to happen next is, if this gets rejected, I think it's more likely that we're going to test either the 200 simple, the dark blue here, the 377, or the 528, which is the gray and the white. So pay attention to those, because typically once you test a moving average and then like can't get a stronger move back up to the upside, you'll come back down and test the next one. So I would expect at this point in time, you know, that 8,200 range is like very key. But we do have to be very careful, because any strong moves back down here to the downside and closes too low are going to put the entire trend in jeopardy. So if we come down too low past like 8,200, I think we're potentially jeopardizing the entire trend based on candle closes. But really 8,500 is what we're going to pay attention to. If we see the market closing below 8,500 on a 4 hour or longer time frame, I definitely think that we're in the danger zone. So. But at this point in time, it's still possible that Bitcoin can maintain its, strength to the upside, consolidate in this area, and then just keep knocking on the door until finally it breaks through and we get that powerful move to the upside. So, crypto trend trader, and I'm out of here.